Okay, welcome everybody to another edition of Unstoppable REI. I am here with Melissa Johnson. Now, I just found out that she is kind of a movie star. I mean, I was looking at all of her stuff, kind of preparing, and you're everywhere. So, plus, I saw your Christmas picture, nice looking bunch, right? Your
Thanks.
family.
That is
Um,
my all my ducks.
that's all. Okay, I like that. And do you have a podcast or several podcasts or what is it? You got a lot of stuff going on,
I
right?
do. Yeah, I do. I do have a podcast. Yes,
Okay.
the
All
E3
right.
podcast. Yep.
Okay. Nice. All right. Well, we'll get into all that stuff. All right. So why don't we just start with kind of your 30-second elevator pitch, your 5-minute elevator pitch, no time limit. Just kind of tell me your story, how you got started.
I don't think I could talk about myself for 5 minutes, but
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
now, just because it makes me I'm so funny about that. But I'm Melissa Johnson. I
Okay.
am a certified business coach, certified life coach, and a business consultant. I've been
Okay.
in real estate for 21 years in that space.
Wow.
Been an investor. I've helped launch a couple of tech startups around the real estate area and
Okay.
now grown into the coaching space. I am on a mission to help 1,000 entrepreneurs with their business. So
Okay.
that's my mission. And I just really love helping people and I really love coaching and everything about it.
Nice. So where's the 1,000 come in? Is that specific number? I mean, what is that? Is there some meaning behind the 1,000?
No particular meaning, just a goal
Okay.
that I've set for myself.
All right.
Yeah.
Just help a lot of folks. I love
Yeah, I want to
that.
help as many people as I can. So I figure if I put a number to it and then I
Yes.
can measure it
I
and
love that.
it'll
Okay. Okay.
happen.
All
Yeah.
right. I like it. So life coach, business coach, so you've done it all. All right. So let's talk about tell me one thing that you wish you would have known when you started your career.
I wish I would have known that it was not going to be easy.
Okay.
I feel like that's a misconception a lot of people
Yeah.
have about real estate, that it's a get rich quick thing. You're going to take your, Carlton Sheets course or whatever and just run with it. And it's
Yeah.
not that
It's
way at
not that way.
all. No.
Complete shocker, right? Complete
Right.
shocker. Yeah. So first of all, I got to go back for a second. 21 years real estate, and then you mentioned Carlton Sheets. Okay, I thought I was the only guy that still remembered him. And like when I started in 29 years ago, we didn't even really have the MLS, the computerized MLS was optional. Everybody just worked from the books. Is that how it was when you? No, I don't
I
know.
mean, we still had MLS, but I'm definitely like of the school of Ron
Oh,
LeGrand
you
and
are
oh
okay.
yeah, I was a major like Ron LeGrand groupie. And then I finally got to meet him a few years ago and
Did you
I
really?
couldn't even speak. I was like, oh my God, it's Ron LeGrand. I was such a fangirl. I was so ridiculous. I couldn't even talk.
That is hilarious. That every time I run into a situation like that or talk to people like that, you ever see that commercial where that little boy is going to Disneyland and his family's going? He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell. When I see Mickey, I'm gonna say this. When I see Mickey, I'm gonna say that." As soon as he sees Mickey Mouse, he's like deer in headlights. So that's kind of how you
Yeah,
were when you
that was
saw
me.
Ron. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So have you taken
100%.
any of his coaching stuff? But how did you get to meet him? Was it in like a seminar or something?
No, it was in a mastermind. So he was actually part of a mastermind that I had joined.
Okay.
And so it was really cool because then it's like you're in the room with, some of these icon people. It
With
was
greatness.
really cool. It was cool.
Nice. That's nice. All right. So what would you say is maybe the biggest failure that you've run into and what did you learn from that?
Ooh, so many to choose from.
I know. I feel the same way. Just hit me with the biggest one.
Oh man. I don't know about the biggest one, but I can
Okay.
tell you about the most recent one.
All right. That works.
Yeah. So I lost money on a deal, a
Okay.
lot.
Okay.
And I can probably count on one hand how many deals I've actually lost money on. So I think that's good,
That is good. Yes.
after that long of a time. But it was it was a good reminder. It was a very humbling experience,
Okay.
So I bought this house. There was a lot more to it than what I anticipated. There
Yes.
was a lot of misinformation given to me when I bought the property. And then, and I guess the biggest thing of all, like the reason why this was such a big lesson was because I've always had really, I learned not early, but when I started building a team to do this, like really scaling it, I
Okay.
learned I needed some criteria And so in this particular deal, I completely deviated from like a bunch of my criteria because I
Okay.
thought, you know, and this was a test, right? So it's been, you know, when you do this for so long, you get comfortable and complacent and
Oh,
stuff. And I
right.
thought, well, maybe it's time to test my criteria. Like maybe that criteria isn't really criteria anymore and I need to examine that. So I
Sure.
thought, well, I'm just gonna, so, you know, I go against all of the criteria
Uh-oh.
and I failed miserably.
Okay.
And I ended up having to sell the house at a loss. So it was very painful, but it was a
Sure.
very good reminder of why I had set that criteria in the first place. And it was just, it was humbling. It was
Yeah,
humbling
yeah.
to lose
So,
money on a deal.
oh, totally. So, um, dare I ask how much you lost? Can you share that, or just don't want to share that?
Oh, I lost like 40 grand.
Okay, that's pretty big.
Yeah,
I've lost more money than that on a deal. I mean, but you
now
know
I
what I
feel
think?
better.
Oh, you do? This is hilarious. Okay, so you kick me when I'm down. All right. Well, all right.
Sorry, no,
No, no,
no.
no. I'm just
We've
joking.
all been there.
We
Hey,
all
maybe
been
if you
there.
take all of the deals that I've lost money on, it could be equal, you
Well,
know?
but I mean, here's the thing. I mean, a dollar is a dollar, even if it's, if it's, $5 or whatever it is. If you lost, you lost. But it's painful. And but don't you think you learn more from the failures than the successes?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like when you're
Okay.
in that moment, you don't want to think about
Oh
that. Like
no,
let's
no, no,
just be
not at the
real. Like
time.
we all know that from our mindset training, you know, like failure is, you know, you got to fail forward and
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
growing opportunity and stuff. Like I know all that in my head, but in the moment, I'm just like, I just lost 40 grand.
Oh yeah, no, no,
All
no.
I
In
can
the
think
moment,
about.
yeah, in the moment you're crying and you're whatever, and yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah. I'm like
no.
rocking back and forth in a corner, sucking my thumb. Like it's bad.
In a fetal position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Wrapped in a
believe me.
blanket.
Yeah, you're making it worse and worse. But yeah, I have totally been there. So, what advice would you give to somebody that wants to get started in real estate, who want to succeed, to see you succeeding? What advice would you give them?
Two pieces of advice.
Okay.
One is you got to work on your mindset. Like, and when I coach people, this is where I start, you
Okay.
know, I start with mindset because it's so important. You don't realize, especially if you've never been an entrepreneur before,
Right.
and you jump into this business, like it's tough. Like you're going to get kicked and knocked around a lot more often than you're going to win, especially in the beginning. It's
Okay.
hard. It's like slow going. It's not like a quick, you know, like you're just going to go into real estate and be successful automatically. So you've got to have the right mindset to be able to take those punches.
Yeah.
Second thing is having the right, like picking a good coach or mentor. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a coach. Like
Right.
I had a mentor when I started, and I've
Right.
had coaching my entire, like I still am coached.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that's the thing that should never end, because as you grow and progress and develop, you have different needs.
Yeah.
And if you can find the right person that can help you through that, then it's helpful.
Totally. The thing about coaching is that all of the super successful people have coaches. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Actors, the president, professional athletes. I mean, and you need someone to be able to hold you accountable and somebody to bounce ideas off of. And but I got to ask, just from your, you said that you're a licensed life coach and that. The being wrapped in the blanket and the thumb in the mouth, is that like clinical? I mean, is that like technique that's like a part of?
For me, it is.
Is it okay? Okay, that's part of the
It's called
therapy.
self-care. It's self-care.
Self-care. Okay, all right, I like that. I'm gonna let my wife know, hey, this is, yeah, I'm gonna use that one. I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So over your career, what would you say are maybe the top 2 or 3 resources that have helped you the best, helped you the most, I should say?
Well, again, with the mentor,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely. Okay.
And as that progressed, you know, and I was doing more deals and things like that, actually being a part of a mastermind was really great too,
Okay.
like a great resource. You know, I know that's not for everybody right at the beginning,
Sure.
especially because they are very expensive, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I feel like with the masterminds, you get what you pay for.
Oh,
You know?
totally.
So
Yeah.
you're paying for
Yeah.
some low end mastermind, you might not get as much value from that. But
Totally.
as you grow, like you progress up your masterminds too, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
I
I
think that's.
think
Go ahead. No, no.
oh,
Stop.
no.
Go ahead.
I just think that's really important. Like just it's who you surround yourself with, because it keeps you inspired, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you fresh, you know, because you meet with these people from all over the country, and you're doing
Yeah,
your little thing in your market, but it's like, well, so-and-so over here is doing this, and not to be chasing shiny objects, but to hear what's happening and see if it's something you can actually apply in your own business,
sure.
responsibly.
Yeah, no, I think that's really smart. I mean, I think that one thing that business owners don't do enough of is take ideas from other industries and apply them into their business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, that's one of the things that a mastermind can allow you to do is because, I mean, why reinvent the wheel? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, you do need to surround yourself with smart people and to be able to pull in some new information. You got to have a fresh set of eyes. I mean, I think that that's
Yeah.
pretty critical.
Yeah. And that's
Uh,
what's been cool about the coaching too, just
yeah.
because you can take like everything I've learned in real estate, and I have clients that aren't even in real estate. I mean, most of
Okay.
them are, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had some that haven't, and it's cool to see that those principles carry through in other industries.
I like that. Um, as what about people that have influenced you in over your career? I mean, if you had to pick maybe two or three, maybe the top three people that have been the most influential to you, who would they be?
Ooh.
Tough
And that
one.
is such a tough question because
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
around so many amazing people. I've been so lucky,
Yeah.
just being in masterminds and stuff like, um, I think my dad has been a big influence on me, but this is interesting, right? Because it's
Okay.
not because he like inspired me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was more of like the experience of like how I grew up and things like that, like that
Okay.
made me become a certain way, circumstances of life, I guess. So
Yeah.
that was influential, for me becoming who I am now.
Okay.
Um, my kids are really influential to me,
Nice.
which might sound a little bit strange. So I
No,
have
not
older
at all.
kids and younger kids.
Okay. How old are they?
My oldest daughter's 30, and
Okay.
then I've got twins that are 23, and then I've
Wow.
got a daughter that's about to be 14 and a son that's 10.
Wow. So we have quite a bit in common. My oldest is 35. I've got a daughter that is 20. I always forget the ages, 27, 28. Hope she's not listening. Um, and don't have twins, but we got four, two girls, two boys. My youngest is just turned 20, just graduated, actually, the last one.
Oh,
And then,
wow.
yeah, son at
Congratulations.
25. Yeah, thanks. But so twins. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Twin girls or boys or,
Girls, four
okay.
girls, and then the boy is the baby. Yeah.
Wow. So how does I mean, is he okay? I mean, the four, I mean, that's a lot. I
It
mean,
is. It is. That's funny. I wondered that when I found out I wanted a boy my whole life, and
okay.
I kept getting girls. And then I
Okay.
was like, okay, I'm done having kids. I'll just wait for a grandson. And then I ended up having my son, who's been like such a joy for me. Like, I love having a boy. It's so much different than having girls. Like, I
It
love
is
girls because
different.
they're my
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
my besties. But my
Yeah.
son is like, he's special.
Oh, sure. You know what's funny about that? All right, so we got two girls, two boys. I'm way easier on my girls than I am on my guys. And it's vice versa for my wife. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of like, you know, and I'm, I'm pretty protective too. Like, I don't want to hear any boys' names. I don't want to, I don't want to know who you're dating. I don't want, it's they have to date me first. I mean, we got a rule on that. So, but anyway, but that's interesting. So, well, very cool. But yeah, I'm a little concerned about the boy, but it sounds like everybody he's surrounded by love and
Oh,
is,
he's fantastic.
is he?
And
Okay,
oh yeah, he's his sisters love him and everything,
that's
but
nice.
he he's been real interesting because he's very open
Okay,
to learning things. So like
nice,
he's already read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
very good.
Yeah, like I was paying him to read some books. I should probably like preface that, but he did it, like to have a 10-year-old boy sit down and read a book like that and then have a discussion about it.
That's very cool. But also, it's
It's
very cool
cool.
to pay to read. That's a very good strategy.
Oh, I love it. I would rather pay them to read a book than to do
Yes,
chores.
absolutely. Because you're training them to, in the right way. I mean, you're training them to, a reward. The money is a reward for learning, and applying what you learn as opposed to l- labor. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's the wrong idea. So anyway, I'm going all over the place. This is crazy, but I'm having a blast. All right. So you said the influence was your father and your kids.
My
All
father
right.
and my kids.
All
Yeah.
right.
And
Who
then
else?
I've got some friends of mine too. And
Okay.
they're a couple, so I'm just going to count
Yeah.
them as my third
Nice.
because I love them so much, and they have been some of the best people in my life. And I met them late in life, but
Okay.
it's like this connection that the three of us have, and they're married.
Okay.
And I'm like the third wheel there, but it's cool because
Yeah.
I'm like the perfect combination of the two of them. So, me and my friend Casey, like we talk about everything business, like very both visionary, have all these ideas and things. And then his wife, Chrissy, is also, we're very much alike, personally.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun relationship, and they are just so loving, and just like they're kind of my rock.
And I think that's cool. You mentioned also about your kids, learning from your kids. I don't think that that's weird at all, because I think that that's sort of a testament of your parenting skills that now they can give back to you. And it's like, I mean, I remember lots of times when my kids are calling meetings like, hey, we need to talk about this. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I guess we do. All right. So and it's like, man, we taught them well. And I say we. When I say we, I'm talking about my wife. I mean, she's the management, I'm the labor force. So and that's just why I married up. That's just kind of what happens. But anyway, so but I love that. So your kids, your dad, and your friends. So let's jump over into the myths for a second. Can you think of a real estate investing myth that you can debunk?
That it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so true. Like, I just feel like that is a myth, that
Yeah.
if you do this, and this, you're going to make a ton of money,
Right.
overnight. Like I feel like a lot of people think it's a get rich quick kind of thing. And
Sure.
Like I said before, like it's so easy, and it's not. Like it's
Right.
a lot of work. It's a lot of mindset work. It's a lot of learning.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like a lot of us that are in this industry now, we don't come from this kind of a background. Like we don't like, I have met very few investors who actually come from a business background.
Okay.
So you not only have to learn how to do all the things, like how do you flip a house, how do you find deals, like you've got to learn how to be a marketer,
Oh
a
yeah.
salesperson,
Oh yeah.
a bookkeeper, a hiring, HR. Like you have to learn all of the leadership, most importantly.
Totally.
There was so many, like I had bits and pieces of some of that stuff, but to put it all together and to run it as a successful business takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. And I will also say another myth to debunk, like, I don't think you can do this alone.
Good point.
You need people. It could, even if, and I'm not talking like you got to build a full team, but like you need an assistant somewhere, like you're going to need help at some point. You cannot do this business alone. So whether you're building a team or you've got some part-time VAs or whatever, like you're going to need that if you're going to do this successfully.
Yeah, that's a good point. Very good point. So if you were on the side of the computer screen and you were asking the questions, what would you ask that I'm not asking? I mean, what am I missing? What do you want to say that I'm not asking you about? Anything?
I don't know about that, but I will say this.
All right.
I don't know how this would be framed as a question, but something that I have learned in this 20 something years of doing this, and not just real estate, but like business in general, I guess, is that real estate can give you so much more than just it being a real estate business.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is I feel like I enjoyed real estate and flipping houses and stuff like that. But what it really led me to was my real passion, which was helping people, and like people, especially like people starting business. Like I love startup like so much. I love something fresh and new in the beginning of something. And I didn't realize that because I was just like stuck in the real estate thing, but it gave me the opportunity to learn about business and then to network, meet all these people, and then to eventually, start moving away from that to a life that is really fulfilling for me right now, because now it's like I get to help people and I know how to do all these other things, but I love business. Like I really have a passion for it. And I love having the ability to work with people to help them grow their business, to help them grow personally and professionally. And so real estate's not the thing, it's the vehicle to get you to the thing. So if you know what your end game is, real estate can help you get there, because 9 times out of 10, it's not real estate. It's not like, oh, I just love, flipping all these houses. I'm going to do this forever and ever.
Right.
Eventually you're going to burn out and you're going to want to do something else. So if you can figure out now, wherever you're at in your journey, where you want to go,
Yeah.
and just figure out how real estate can get you there.
That's a very, very, very interesting point because, when I started in real estate, I didn't like looking at houses. I mean, I still don't love looking at houses. It was just about the deal kind of, but like you said, it leads you to, well, it helps you to develop and identify what your passion really is, whether it's helping people or helping the businesses or whatever it is. I mean, I really like that. That's interesting. So, before I ask you the last question here, how can people connect with you? How can they reach out to you?
Super easy. Have a website, themelissajohnson.com.
Okay.
And so on there is pretty much everything about me. It's about, the coaching. It's about my podcast is there. All my social links are there at the bottom of the first page. So if you want to, check out any content or anything like that, all that's there.
Okay, nice. Say, are you reading anything, any super good books? I'm looking for a good book. Do you have any recommendations?
Oh, I have so many good books.
Do you? Okay, what's good?
Well, I just recently finished reading Multipliers. I feel like
Okay.
I'm a little behind the curve on that one.
All right.
Been out for a while, but it's a leadership book.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's an area like we always need to work on.
Right.
And there's a lot of stuff in there that I try to find things that carry over like for business and at home.
Okay.
So that was like a good one. Also, went through a little rough period there, and I read this book, Peaks and Valleys, is a really short little book, and that was really good.
All right.
For the mind. And also The War of Art, I loved, and I love Stephen Pressman, like all his books.
Okay.
Really, really good. And his whole thing, he's talking about like resistance and how to push through things and stuff like that. So those are all some that I've read recently that I just really liked.
Nice. What about a movie? Good movie.
Ooh, just saw Maverick and it was so good.
Maverick, that's
the Top Gun movie.
You know what? Everybody is talking about that movie.
It's so good.
I'm gonna have to check that. I never even seen the first one. Did you see the first one?
Oh God, yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was a Top Gun fan.
Oh, okay, cool. I need to check myself. All right. Well then. Okay. All right. So I need to watch those
go
movies.
on Netflix. I think I think Top Gun is on Netflix right now.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
so
All right.
Watch that and then go watch Maverick. They did such a great job. I normally don't buy into like it's not a remake or anything. It's like a continuation, but this I think Top Gun came out like 30 years ago or something.
Right, long time. I know.
Something years ago. I don't know, whatever, in the 80s.
Okay.
And I loved it then. And then they took all the best parts of that movie, nostalgia wise, and incorporated them into the new one. And it was just enough. Like it was a perfect recipe.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, you're about the gazillion person that told me that. I mean, this week, I a lot of people. So interesting. So I definitely have to check that out. All right. So last question. I started this podcast. Well, if you Google the term real estate investor failure rate, you'll see that 95% of real estate investors fail. It's a huge number. A lot of times people don't believe me and they Google and people tell me, hey, I Googled it and I saw it. I mean, it's real. So, what I want to know is, so I created this podcast and a lot of the things that I do to help to lower that failure rate. But and that's why this is called Unstoppable, because I want to stop that. But here's 2 questions. I want to know how you define the word unstoppable. And then I want to know what you've done to make yourself unstoppable where failure is concerned in an industry with such a high failure rate. So those 2 things.
Ooh, how do I define unstoppable? Well, I think it's like perseverance. It's like doing whatever it takes.
Okay.
Always. And it's pushing through because and it's hard sometimes.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's just like, I give up, I quit, I can't.
Yeah.
And you've got to dig down deep in yourself to find the way to push through something and to move forward. So I think it's really having a perseverance and just doing whatever it takes, but I think also it goes into being unstoppable is knowing what you want, being really focused on what your end goal is, because if you know your why of why you're doing something, you are unstoppable.
Yes, I agree. I love that. I love that. And so, and do you know your why? I mean, is that what drives you? I mean,
Oh, my why is my 5 babies. Like,
wow.
I want to give them the best life that I can give them. And that doesn't mean spoiling them.
Yeah,
For me, what it means is it's the whole life. It's like experiences. It's having a business where I can take them to school every day and pick up, like, they can never say mom wasn't there. Like, mom was always there.
that's
My
great.
30-year-old can say it. My 10-year-old can say it. He's even told me, he's like,
Really?
you're always there, mom. He's like, you're always there. You're always there at my games. And that just made my heart just
Of
melt,
course. Just
you
melts
know?
you. Yeah.
But they're my
Wow.
why. And that's what makes me unstoppable, is because I think about the kind of life I want to give them, and
Yeah.
the quality of time that we spend together and experiences that we have. And that keeps me going.
I love that. So what part of the US are you in?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas.
Texas. I'm from New Orleans originally.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love New Orleans.
Yeah. But the reason why I asked is because we are hovering above empty nester, and so we're looking for a warmer place. I'm in Minnesota, which it's still cold even now. I mean, it's getting warmer, but I got to find some place that's permanently warm. But Texas, I like that. So
Texas is where it's at. I'm a
that's where it's
Texas
at.
girl.
Are you?
Oh yeah,
All right, so I'm gonna have to come down there. Maybe we'll do coffee or something. You can show me the sights.
for sure.
Yeah, I love that. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. I would love to be able to talk more. I don't want this to be the last time. You had lots of stuff to say that we didn't even touch, but I loved it, and this has just been a blast. Sometimes I talk to people, and it's most people I talk to have been fun, but sometimes you just make a connection with somebody that's like right away you're just like cracking up, and that's like what we've been doing here. We're just and so I love it. But anyway, thank you, and yeah, let's talk again real soon. Okay.
Let's do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye now.